Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. It's time to have a look at the Winter Extreme event that is coming to War Thunder. Now this is the standard winter event that we get pretty much every year in War Thunder, so if you've done a previous one, especially from the last few years, you know exactly how these events work. This one is starting on the 20th of December, so they've given us a little bit more time to prepare than usual, and also will go until the 9th of January, which is quite nice. There are 4 event vehicles that are on offer, 1 premium and 3 event ones, which we'll go through. There's also some decorations, decals, and also a player icon, plus some additions, which we'll get into later on. But if you've done these before, they're the Mark of Distinction events, where you have to get 40k for each of the marks, and then you basically are able to get them. It's pretty much the same as what we've seen, and there's not really a huge amount of additional stuff here. So anyway, let's get into the vehicles and see what they're about. The first aircraft that you get at 4 marks of distinction for pilots is the J9 Early. This is going to be a premium fighter that is coming in for Sweden at rank 2. It says the J9 was created as a dedicated Swedish export variant of the P-35, which itself was developed as a private venture of the Seversky Company in a bid to replace the P-26 in service with the American Air Force at the time. Ordered by Sweden in June of 1939, the J9 incorporated some differences from its American counterpart in having a more powerful engine as well as a bolstered arsenal. Sweden placed orders for a total of 180 aircraft over several orders, and by June 1940, 60 J9s were delivered to Sweden and commissioned into service. At the time, however, an American arms embargo to Europe prevented further deliveries, which resulted in the Swedish variants being adopted into American service as the P-35A. Sweden operated the J9 throughout the World War II period, and even well beyond, with the last units being retired in the early 1950s. The vehicle itself has quite a nice bit of armament with 2 8mm and also 2 13.2mm, and if you've ever played Sweden, you know how powerful these things are. It also seems to have a camera in the side of it, which looks really funny looking backwards, maybe using it for reconnaissance as a nice little addition. At 8 marker distinctions for the pilots, we actually have another Mirage, the Mirage 2000 CS4. Now, this vehicle is the new member of the Mirage family with its traditional delta wing. It was developed by Dassault in the 1970s as an alternative to the joint Anglo-French ACF, or Avion de Combat Futur project. The first production models of the fighter, named the Mirage 2000, entered active service in 1984. For many years, the Mirage 2000 remained France's primary fighter and was actively exported. The Mirage 2000 CS4 variant was produced in 3 manufacturing series with minor equipment differences. Basically, this is going to be a rank 8 event jet fighter, so you aren't going to get any premium bonuses on it, you aren't going to get, any of that, and you have to grind out the vehicle too. But I'm sure it'll have access to some nice weaponry. For example, they're giving it the Matra Super R530D and also Magic 2s with the 30mm defers, which is always a good, nice setup. It can also use conventional and drag bombs and also sneb rockets, which are quite nice. And the countermeasure size, it only has 54 countermeasures, which is a little bit weak and compared to the rest. The other thing is the armament itself seems a little bit weak too, especially when you compare it to stuff like the Mirage 4000 that's coming in. The Vilkas is coming in for 8 marks of distinction for tankers, specifically the Boxer Vilkas. We've been talking about this one for a little bit, and it's finally released. The development of what would become the Boxer IFV began in 1993 as an international joint venture between France and Germany, with the UK also joining the program in 96. The aim of the project was the joint development of a common and modular AFV design, which could quickly be adapted to fit different mission requirements. In 1999, France abandoned the program and was replaced by the Netherlands in 2001, by which time production of the first prototypes had already begun. Following the start of production, the Boxer entered service with the German army in 2009. In 2015, Lithuania also expressed interest in procuring the Boxer and placed orders for 89 vehicles. Receiving the name Vilkas, the Lithuanian variant also received provisions for mounting the Israeli Samson Mark II remote-controlled turret, capable of mounting Spike missiles. The first Vilkas entered Lithuanian service in 2019, with further deliveries ongoing throughout the 2020s. What's interesting about this one is it's an event vehicle, so not a premium, but it's also going to be in the German tech tree, so at rank 7. So even though it's a Lithuanian vehicle, it will be gracing Germany in its hover setup. The vehicle has a Bushmaster 2 30mm cannon. It also has a crewless turret, which has access to spikes, and the mobility of this thing, with a 720 horsepower engine, should be quite good, with a maximum speed over 100 kilometers an hour. Probably won't have too much protection, but this vehicle is designed to motor, and will have good optics as well to be able to scout and annihilate the enemy, since it is a light vehicle. At 8 marks of distinction for naval, you have another event vehicle. This is the USS Mississippi, coming in for America, and they are adding a lot of AA to this thing, so I'm sure people will enjoy. The USS Mississippi was laid down as the second of 3 New Mexico-class battleships approved for construction by the U.S. Congress in June of 1914. Representing a continuation of the American standard battleship design, the USS Mississippi was laid down in April of 1915 and officially joined the ranks of the U.S. Navy in December of 1917. Although not taking part in the Great War, the USS Mississippi participated in some major operations during the Second World War. Most notably, the warship made its mark in history by taking part in late war operations in the Pacific Theater, such as the Marshall Islands and Philippines campaigns, as well as the ensuing Battle of Lake Gulf. After the war, USS Mississippi took up new roles by being first converted into a gunnery training ship and later on serving as a test platform for advanced missile systems. The USS Mississippi was decommissioned and sold for scrap in late 1956. So, in-game, the vehicle will have its main armaments, the 12 14-inch guns, which is going to be incredibly fun to use. Basically, 4 stacks of 3 to annihilate the enemy. It also will have 16 5-inch guns, which is kind of nuts, and they're adding in the late war, Second World War refit of this machine, which had access to 48 40mm guns and 34 20mm guns too, in quadruple and also twin mounts, which is completely nuts. So this thing will be a battleship not just offensively against other battleships, but will also be able to protect itself incredibly well from the air. There's a lot of detail on this model. It looks completely nuts. I'm looking forward to having a look at it later on. There are other prizes you could get along with the good old vehicles themselves. You have some unique camouflages for each of the vehicles, which is really nice to see. And then also some decals. There are 5 decals, which you can get around the place. And they're all coupons, which means that if you don't want them, you can always sell them on the marketplace. And they are bringing back the old collection thing. So if you don't know what collections are, basically if you have a certain amount of other kind of things, then you get a bonus one, and they're doing that for the decals. So you have all this. If you get all 5 of the standard decals, you can get a special snowboarding decal, which is really cool. This also means that it's probably possible to get duplicate decals in this event through the marks of distinction, which can be a little bit annoying, but it is kind of how it is. The other stuff, you have 2 decorations which are on offer, which are actually really nice. You have a snow bike decoration for ground, and then a snow cat decoration for naval. The naval decorations are always the best. Hopefully these have a bit of animations to them, which would be really nice. You get the snow cat decoration at 6 marks of distinction for naval, and the snow bike decoration at 6 marks for tankers. And for 6 marks for pilots, you get the player icon, which is the snowboarder, which is very reminiscent from the summer one, who I'm pretty sure it was a similar lady who was on a motorbike that time, which is kind of interesting to see. So we've talked about a lot of the prizes that are on offer. How do the marks of distinction work? So if you've done them in the past, like these types of events, you know exactly how they work. But if this is your first event, this is how it goes. Every 2 days, you have one mark of distinction, and in order to complete that mark of distinction, whether it be for tankers, pilots, or sailors, you need to earn 40,000 mission points in random battles in rank 3 or higher. You can use event vehicles of rank 1 or higher if you want to. Specific ones, they are labeled, and they'll let you know if you can use them or not, but most of the time, rank 3 or higher is better, because the higher the rank you use, the higher the multiplier it is for the marks of distinction, and therefore the easier it is to be able to get access to it. They have added in simulator battles. You are able to get stuff done in there now, but A, B, and RB are also the standard modes that can be, sorted out as well in general. So the other part of it is the fact that with this 40,000 mission points, once you do it for, let's say, pilots, if you also want the tankers one, you have to do that too. So if you want everything over a 2-day period, you have to get 120,000 mission points with 40,000 in each of the standard modes. And then, after 2 days, you have to do it again. That's basically how all of this works over and over and over again until you get the last mark of distinction, which is number 10. Now, what's interesting about the marks of distinction themselves is there are technically 3 coupons that are available if you want to actually sell the vehicles. The Mirage 2000 CS4, the Vilcas, and also the USS Mississippi are all coupons, so you can actually get them to be able to sell them on the Gaijin market, so therefore you can buy something off the Gaijin store, or maybe get premium for a year or something like that. And also, at the same time, you can do that with decals too, where all the decals are coupons at the same time. You can also get some trophies. The trophies have access to some SL or boosters or, a random camo or universal backups or a day of premium. The standard stuff that you get in these general things. But yeah, that's pretty much all you have to do for the event. Get 40,000 mission score per mark of distinction, and then the more marks of distinction that you get, you can get more prizes. And if you want the top prizes for each of the general modes, you want to get 8 marks of distinction out of 10, meaning that you can miss 2, or if you want to get the camos, you can miss 1. You can also GE the marks of distinction if you want to. That is something that is possible. So overall, you can, sort that out. And that is something that is definitely worth doing sometimes, especially if you want to sell the stuff later on. They're also adding 2 sets of gambling into the event. These are kind of additional things on top of the guaranteed prizes that you can get by doing the marks of distinction. The first one is the snowman. Basically, you have the snowman and its carrot. See this as a box and a key. Basically, you put them together and it opens it opens a gambling box. The snowman is 10,000 silver lions. The carrot is 50,000 silver lions. You need a carrot to be able to open a snowman or a key to open a box, and you can get some prizes from it. This is a way to dump additional SL into, kind of loot boxes if you want to. And that is something that exists. I generally don't have an issue with SL boxes, but I do have an issue with the next part. They're bringing in a different chest. This chest is a Golden Eagle chest. It's called the Christmas chest, and basically it is just a more advanced snowman chest. So instead of an SL one, it is a GE one. You pay GE to open these things, and technically, according to Gaijin, when it comes to what's in these chests, the average value of the chest contents are almost 1.5 times the price of the chest itself. Yeah, we'll be the judge of that. Also, you are guaranteed to get either premiums or talismans after a specific point, but also they are putting unique stuff into these chests in order for you to get them. So if you actually want to complete everything from this event, not just the grinding stuff, but also the additional stuff, you have to buy 10 of the Christmas chests for Golden Eagles. It says also, after opening a specific number of chests, you receive memorable prizes. For 3 chests, a unique New Year's sticker. For 5 chests, a festive naval flag. For 7 chests, a festive ground vehicle decoration, and for 10 chests, an amazing pilot Santa Claus player icon. The player icon is really cool, but also at the same time, I'm not really happy with them pushing gambling, especially for a game that doesn't just have adults playing it. It sucks that this is a standard in the industry right now, and I'm kind of sick of it. But yeah, if you want to get everything out of this event, you have to buy at least 10 of the Christmas chests for Golden Eagles to get the unique Santa Claus player icon, the New Year's sticker, a naval flag, and then also you get a ground vehicle decoration, which is probably one of the signs which we've seen before. You can actually open multiple boxes at once if you want to feed your gambling addiction even more with the GE and Silver Lions ones, so take that into account as well. Overall, this event is incredibly similar to the previous ones and should be a bit tough to be able to get sorted. It is definitely not something for the faint-hearted, and I understand over the Christmas period, a lot of people are usually quite busy. But for me, with this type of event, usually I can get the Marks of Distinction done within a day, and hopefully you can too. I'll be streaming the event over on Twitch, so if you need any additional information, or if you need any help when it comes to this stuff, just pop along and we can have a chat with any of the questions that you ask. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank Brendan Quinn, Vilneus, Character Fuel, Juan the Panda, Carrion Crow, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Merciless Reaper, Orange Tail, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, Moxie, B. Young, Bareen, Peter Grayling, Alan Hacker, Sem Alslan, Uncle Bean, and Derek R., and also Lafouche for supporting the channel.